Today I'm going to be comparing these three popular wasp and hornet sprays. So we have this one from Spectracide, this one from Hot Shot, and then this one from Ortho. Let me go ahead and turn this one sideways. You can see the Ortho and the Hot Shot have the better nozzle, and that is the case. When I actually shoot these, I've noticed with these nozzles, it does work a lot better in regards to the spray pattern. And then this one just kind of has the smaller type, cheaper head on it. All of them are about the same size. This one is 18.5 ounces, this one's 17.5, and then this one's 16. So this one's a tiny bit smaller, especially when you're comparing that's 2.5 ounces into 16, so that's like 1/8 smaller. It's the same height, but it just doesn't have as much in it. So I'm not sure if that's just the way they did it. Maybe it's not quite as big around as these other two, but they're all three comparable in regards to how far they shoot. I actually did a distance test on all three of these. None of them were able to hit 20 feet. So despite the fact that they say 27, 27, this one says up to 20 feet. This is actually the most accurate in regards to length. Okay, up to 20 feet is what the Ortho Home Defense says. And I was able to get 18 and 19 out of all three of these when they were brand new. When they were used, so maybe down a quarter or so after you'd used them for a little bit, they shot even shorter. So it's not like they were able to get longer after use. First use is where you're gonna get the longest spray out of them. So at least Ortho was the most accurate from real life testing that I did myself. Okay, I'm not an expert, I'm not a scientist, I don't know how they got their distance. But when I tested them, the longest I was able to get was 18 to 19 foot, which I would say is pretty close to 20 feet above ground. Okay, I was just shooting vertically. So maybe if you're shooting up in the air, it's gonna be a little bit longer or something. Maybe in the ideal conditions, it's gonna get 20 foot. So again, that's pretty accurate. Both of these say up to 27 feet. So you would think, okay, these are gonna shoot way further than the Ortho. They do not. All three of them shoot between 18 and 19 feet on distance. And I actually tested it out here with the tape measure. Let me go and show you that. So you can still see some of the residue out there on the tape. And you can see the residue stops right at about the 6 foot mark. I ran it 25 foot from the edge of my barn all the way out there. And the longest one that I was able to get was around that 6 foot mark. You can see some of that residue there on the tape measure, that white stuff, that's just the residue from the wasp spray. So we got 19 foot, and that was the longest for any of them. And the shortest one, I believe, was actually the Spectracide was a bit shorter in regards to the majority of it. After the first few seconds of shooting, the majority of it was between 16 and 18 foot. But all of them got around 19 foot when they were brand new. So again, I'm not doubting that maybe in the ideal circumstances, you're gonna get up to 27 foot, as both of these say. However, I was not able to come anywhere close on recreating this. Let me go ahead and show you the push buttons on all three of these. They are pretty similar. You can see all of them work pretty much the same. You do have to shake all of them up before using, and again, I shook them as much as possible before doing that distance test. So overall, between the three, they all work to kill wasps, and they all shoot about the same distance. So there's not a huge difference besides the heads on these three wasp and hornet sprays.